Welcome to another Triathlon Podcast, the podcast that brings the electrifying world of triathlons right into your headphones. Journey into captivating conversations, share the excitement of race recaps, enjoy the humor only a triathlete would understand, and join us as we debunk myths and bring you the bare, thrilling truths of the triathlon world. So feel your heart pound, breathe in anticipation, and get ready to dive into the world of triathlon. This is another Triathlon Podcast. Enjoy the ride.
Welcome one and all to the sixth thrilling installment of another Triathlon Podcast, proudly presented by Mauna Endurance. I'm your host, Jenna-Caer, with Josh and Fede, and I am thrilled to be back in the virtual studio with all of you today. Now, you might want to buckle up because this episode promises to be an epic one. We are packed to the brim with exciting content, including an absolute treat, our first professional interview. Joining us is the incredibly talented Luciano Taccone, an accomplished short course competitor who has made an impressive transition to Ironman racing, taking home the win at Ironman Brazil this year. We can't wait for you to hear his inspiring journey. But that's not all. We've got massive headlines to discuss today, folks. Ironman CEO Andrew Messick is stepping down, and the repercussions of this decision will send waves through our beloved triathlon community. We also have our What the F Moment of the Week, ready to leave you with your jaw on the floor, our favorite social media posts, and results from this weekend. Get ready for an action-packed episode that takes you deeper into the heart of triathlon. So let's jump right in. How is training and racing? Let's start with you, Josh. How's it been going?
So I had a really great week. I've shifted my focus officially towards marathon training. I'm trying to qualify for the Boston Marathon in my first ever marathon. So kind of a double whammy there, but still training triathlon. So I did a lot of swimming, got some extra rowing in on the side, and got a lot of hard training on threshold training on the bike and in running. So it was a good cross training week, and then my longest run ever. So at this point, a half marathon was my longest run, and I got almost 16 miles exactly in last night. So it was a good start to my long distance career.
Awesome.
Definitely well on your way. Now, what is your qualifying time for Boston?
I have to come in at 3:20 if there is no cutoff. So my goal is going to be around 3:14, 3:15.
Yeah,
I think I can get there. I mean, we all know if it depends on the weather that day, if it's hot on September 10th and things like that. But I felt really good last night, and I did it all on a treadmill. And I kept
mental toughness training.
Kept the humidity up, and I really worked on fueling every 15 to 20 minutes, kind of simulating laps at the course that I'll be doing. And when I can fuel there and got through with no problems whatsoever, and actually had a pretty good high Whoop recovery score this morning too. I felt like I was one of the TDF racers this morning. Feeling good.
Excellent. Love to hear it. That's always a good sign. When you're actually, it's one thing to be able to do the training, but when you can actually absorb the workload, that's where it makes all the difference in the world. So that is fantastic.
The biggest one from the week for sure.
Definitely. How about you, Fede? How's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. And I just wanted to add, I know that you're gonna get there, Josh. I mean, I'm 100% sure you're gonna get that BQ. Yeah. So just keep on chipping away and putting in the training, and I know for a fact you'll get there, my man. So yeah,
I appreciate it. Accountability. I throw it out there, and I'm like, I gotta get there because everyone knows about it now.
It's out there now. You gotta go like sub 3 now.
There we go.
No, I mean, I've been training well, training good. Been doing a couple of race-based simulations for a confidence boost, which is needed. And yeah, super excited to see where the body stands this weekend actually. So this Sunday I'm going to be racing in Ecuador, so that's going to be awesome. Yeah, looking forward to it. Finally racing on the Black Ink disc wheel and the 3-spoke front, so I'm super excited about that. And yeah, looking forward to sending it over the weekend.
It's going to be so good. I did my last race I did think it was like 15 watts lower than I was the year before, but I was almost a mile per hour faster on the Hanzo with the black ink disc and tri-spoke. So she goes.
Really?
All about the aero gains. So taper's going well. You're feeling ready to go?
Yeah, taper's feeling well. I mean, I did a round of golf with my friends yesterday to get that, pre race nerves out of the way, and I think that was a good way to do it. So yeah, I've been feeling good. Been eating a lot. I usually have a sweet tooth on taper week, so a lot of carrot cake, a lot of banana loaf, muffins, so Captain Crunch. So yeah, a lot of carbs.
Carbs for the win. Absolutely. That's great to
Yeah.
hear.
How about you, Jenna?
I am on a bit of a taper week too. Unfortunately, it started a little bit earlier with that cold, but starting to feel back to myself again. And yeah, I'll be racing over on Victoria in British Columbia. Going to be going for a Duathlon World Championship spot. So yeah, just kind of tapering down this week. I feel like I should be doing so much more as I always do, but going to let the legs rest and see what I can knock out on the weekend. So looking forward to it.
That's
And
awesome.
I actually I had to send an email to my coach the other day because I made the mistake of going to the bike shop, which is just always dangerous, very dangerous. I started racing for Crank Bike Shop that sponsors me there. And I didn't really have much on the calendar because I thought I was going to be traveling a lot more this summer, but went to the bike shop and they're like, well, you should test out your Factor Austro gravel. Like that would be perfect for road racing too. I'm like, that's, I might have to give that a try. They're like, we'll give you some demo wheels to try out and stuff. I'm like, well, I'm going to have the demo wheels. I should probably try to race them. I mean, no point just trying them on the open road. So I signed up for a 3-day weekend of bike racing. So and then a time trial as well. So instead of doing like 2 races in a month, now I'll be doing 6. So I'll see how that goes.
No change whatsoever to your plans.
There's a slight difference in there. It should be fun. But it's always entertaining sending that email to my coach.
Yeah.
So, but really looking forward to this biking festival. It's like a 90K road race on the Friday, and then a 900-meter hill climb on the Saturday, and then a criterium on the Sunday. So, all in.
You're gonna feel like the Tour de France.
Totally. I am most worried about that hill climb. I did it last year, and it's like 2 minutes of the most painful experience ever.
Yeah, that was painful to watch on Sunday. It was
so good.
Obviously, our Canadian resident here is very happy, but that was
big shout out. The third ever Canadian to win a stage of the Tour de France. I pushed back my training, so I saw Michael Woods was in the breakaway there. And I was supposed to do like a really hard threshold race pace kind of brick workout, and I saw he was in the breakaway, and he's still going, and they're hanging out there. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this. So good to see him win. But I started my brick at like during the middle of the day on the hottest day we have had in forever, and I'm like, oh, I'm paying for this now, but it was so worth it.
You guys, you reminded me that what I have coming up this week too. Now that you're talking about your crazy race schedule that you just added, I have testing week. So I've got my FTP test, I've got a 5K test, and I've got my threshold test in swimming too. So 400, 200 test. So yeah, testing week here. So getting reloaded.
And that's almost harder than racing. I do not love an FTP test. It's one of those necessary evils, and I almost feel bad when I give it to athletes, but it helps dial everything in so much.
I'm really interested to see too, because of what I've been doing so far this year in terms of racing and already doing 4 races and how I've come off of half Ironman now into sprint and now into marathon training to see where my FTP is, if I can hold it or not, or if it's increased. I did have a long ride the other day at mostly threshold and had my highest output ever. So for
fantastic.
Right. So I think it's still there. We'll see. We'll find out. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 days in a row of testing.
Oh, ouch.
Fuel well.
Yeah.
Best piece of advice there. Oh, that'll be awesome. It'll be good to get everything dialed in and know exactly where you're at there. But so we're all going to be suffering a fair bit over the next little while. It's always more fun
Hey,
to suffer with friends.
that's what's gonna make this bond super strong. I just the three of us suffering together.
There we go. I love
Yeah.
it. Well, let's jump in here with our what the F moment of the week. It's kind of two-pronged here, but I think the news that took everyone by surprise was that the Ironman CEO Andrew Messick, who's been CEO for the last 12 years, has decided to retire. And that is definitely going to make some waves within the triathlon world. And he was very divisive in the triathlon world. He absolutely helped kind of grow the sport into a lot more races, a lot more regions. But it seemed at times that Ironman kind of had a predatory stance where they would try to put on big events close to local or grassroots races or competition to try to push them out of the industry, which sucks for the sport. But it'll be interesting to see the repercussions and who actually comes up as the next CEO. Did you guys have any thoughts on this crazy announcement?
I mean, it was definitely groundbreaking, and everyone was talking about it over the weekend for sure. And I think a lot of people taking the side of what he didn't do. And there were certainly some positive things, like you said, but what didn't happen or what he changed certainly has impacted more people than I think they anticipated. And that money grab talk is always there. So it's hard to see somebody go. I mean, it's at least he's sticking around to help hire the next person. It sounds like, and hopefully they get it right this time, because I think there is a cusp right here with the Ironman brand and starting to lose some people. I mean, the slot downs at races. I mean, you're seeing people who didn't even expect to compete for world championship spots now going across the world to compete. So hopefully, I mean, I really have enjoyed my experience at their races. So I hope it's able to turn it around across the pro all the way through the age group field. So I hope they do get it right. I think that this is that opportunity that they have to turn it around.
Yeah, 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 perfectly said. And I think, I mean, the guy was in charge for 12 years. So looking at it from a business perspective, maybe he is looking for a different challenge and a different, opportunity for him. But in terms of triathlon, we need somebody that wants to push the sport forward and somebody that has the best interest in terms of professional athletes and age groupers and wants to showcase the sport as it is, the greatest endurance sport in the world, which I think it is. I think we need from the next guy or gal a really, really open mind when it comes to growing the sport and looking at options in terms of merging with the different companies, such as the PTO. Like, I mean, golf has done it. The PJ merged with Live Golf, and if they did it, I don't see why a sport like triathlon can't do it. Put together challenge the PTO, Ironman for the greater good, and I think that needs to be put on the table for the next person that comes and starts looking into what needs to be done to grow the sport. Also, in terms of clarity, in terms of doping and making the sport clean, I think that's something that needs to be addressed in the near future with the next CEO.
Yeah, and I think that you said it perfectly with that open mind, because it felt, whether right or wrong, or if it was just public opinion, but it felt like a lot of times Andrew Messick had a mindset of kind of my way or the highway. There wasn't
Yeah.
a lot of listening or collaboration when it came to women in the sport, especially in early days trying to get 50 women to Kona. When it came to a lot of the challenges that came up, it seemed like there was no open dialogue, especially with recent incidents with too many athletes on the race course. Like, there's some races where it's impossible not to draft because they've crammed in, 3,000 athletes on something that can really hold 1,500. But I hope, like you said, that the next person is a little bit more open-minded, a little bit more collaborative, because the sport of triathlon grows when we all kind of work together to get more people into the sport. And that involves having other races outside of Ironman that kind of filter in and feed into that Ironman pathway. And if they're going out and crushing all of the local races and grassroots races, then there's no feeder anymore. No, like there's not a lot of people that are going to go from zero to paying $1,000 for an Ironman. So
Yeah.
we need those local races. And I think there does need to be a lot more collaboration when it comes to next CEO. So it's really, yeah, I'm curious to see which direction they go, whether they go hardcore kind of business person who has the experience within the events industry or the business world, or if they lean more towards someone who has more of an athlete perspective in there. It's going to be a tough balance to find.
It's not an easy job, no matter who takes it, right?
Oh man,
a lot of moving parts, and it would, in my eyes, I mean, I really believe that sports are run best by people who have performed in them or been around them, that have that business acumen as well. I think you've seen some it's a short list though. And that's the problem. So who's got the time and wants to deal with all of the naysayers and everything in the back and the forth and the having to uproot their family and all that goes with it. But hopefully someone's out there that can step up and play both sides and get this thing turned around.
Mm-hmm. And so I said this, what the F moment of the week was kind of double pronged. It was crazy news that Andrew Messick was leaving, but one thing I found fascinating was actually an excerpt from an interview he did about his retirement. Was he dove in a little bit into some of the frustration of doping, and it's interesting. Andrew Messick kind of, from his interview, it sounds like he would love to have Lance Armstrong be a part of the sport, and he was really a fan of him, but he wasn't taking any sides on that or saying whether it would be right or wrong for him to be involved in the sport, but they have to follow the WADA code. But on the other hand, he goes into how they had cases, potential doping cases for high-level athletes, go all the way to the Court of Arbitration for Sport and lost their so they accused these athletes of doping and then ended up losing, saying that there wasn't enough evidence to prove that these athletes were doping. So it's kind of interesting how he has that perspective of still being kind of a Lance sympathizer in there, but at the same time, it sounds like they did go hard after a couple high-level athletes that they really suspected of doping. And I wonder if we'll ever find out who those people are, because there's definitely rumors around, but I'd be so curious to find out who they actually took it up to that level with.
Well, the Major League Baseball list got leaked somehow, right? On the home run.
Yeah.
So there's definitely rumors all around, but yeah, I'm guessing we never will, but I'd be curious.
No, and at this point it's all speculation, but I know what you guys are talking about, and there's the word on the street that there are a few cases of high profile athletes that if their test results come to the light, the world will probably be on fire. I mean, the triathlon world, that is. So it just goes to show that if you're good for the sport and the sport is making money off of you, then you might be able to get away with it. So who knows?
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, you know what? It's so tough with endurance sports. You want to believe that everyone's clean and it's not like cycling 20 years ago kind of thing. But, as we've seen, it's definitely not 100% clean. And who knows what we don't know.
Yeah. No. Oh, and actually, speaking of cycling, Mike Woods, I'm sure he's 100% clean. Like, that's one guy who's been chipping away throughout the years, and he's 35, his first tour win, and you can see his progression throughout the years. And it's one guy that you could just see the consistency, and everybody around the peloton was super happy for him. And he was a runner, actually. He was a former runner turned cyclist. So yeah, you must be very happy, Jenna, that the fellow Canadian pulled it off last weekend.
Absolutely. And it was interesting. I was listening to Phil Guyman is doing a Tour de France recap podcast and stuff. And Phil is staunchly anti-doping, very frustrated about a lot of things that happen in the sport. Definitely had a few conversations with him about that. And he went on the podcast and said, like, I was training with this guy. Like, if there's anyone that I have zero doubts about, it's Mike Woods. So that
Oh.
was very cool to hear in there. It's like just knowing someone so up close and personal, training with him and stuff. And he feels that he's clean, someone who is very, very skeptical about a lot of athletes cycling with doping. That was good to hear. But here's another thing. He might be the only person who's run a sub 4-minute mile and finished a stage of the Tour de France. Never mind won a stage, but finished a stage.
You're probably right. That's crazy.
That's probably
That is
true.
what you see every day.
It's a short list of sub 4-minute milers alone.
Right? Like, that is just mind-blowing to me. Just an absolute endurance machine. And it looks like he was running on a bicycle with the grades of that last climb. Like, you were just standing up and running up that hill at that point.
That was
and
intense.
to have it at the end there too. I mean, it was he literally made the rest of the pack look like they were standing still, and I mean they're going sideways, and he's just pounded it straight up the top of the hill. He timed that run perfectly.
He did.
It was so good to see. Yeah, just the third Canadian to win a stage of the Tour de France. So it's good to see the Canadians back in it, and Factor as well. So I mean,
Factor, yeah, there you go.
Not that we're Factor fans around here or anything, but
It's such a cool stage to do it on too. No backdrop or anything. It was just the wide open countryside and beautiful scenery.
That had to be bizarre. Yeah, go from like people inches from you, like cheering and the noise to nothing. And at the point where you're suffering the most too, it's just you in your head and there's nothing else. Like that is, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it was the first time in 30 odd years that they used that climb, the Putadom. So it's an impressive climb, and it's so tough. I mean, like you were saying, Josh and Jenna, the last bit, I mean, the incline is 22% average or something for the last 100 meters, and these guys were pushing and grinding all day long. And I mean, you kind of have to tip off your hat to the guy from Movistar who was pulling for like 70-ish Ks on the breakaway, and then Mike Woods just had the better of him at the end. So just impressive racing, and it just goes to show how hard it is. And these guys are the tip of the spear when it comes to bike racing.
Yeah, I mean, to be on the 12% for as long. I mean, they were on a 12% grade for so long after 7% and 8% before, and then like even when the peloton was like making their move to the base, technically the base, they're like, oh yeah, and by the way, this is about 6-7%.
And it looks flat. That's the flattest section they're going through.
It is so crazy. Now I feel like such a wuss. I did Ironman Ireland, and there was like a couple 100-meter stretch of like 22% on this windmill hill. I walked. I got off my bike and walked on 2 laps.
Hey, but you had to run after, so
there we go. Turned out to be the winning strategy, so I felt better about it afterwards. But that is a serious incline. Like looking up that when you get into those low 20%, it's just crazy. Does not feel like you can make it up. Well, let's talk some more training and racing here. We have our social media post of the week, courtesy of Josh here. Tell us what's going on in the social media world.
Well, I think it's been a buzz naturally anyways, and most of our listeners have probably seen some of the Sam Long and Lionel coverage of their training and getting out on the track and running. Sam had a good one recently this week where he was on his bike early in the morning and you could see the moon above his head. And he was off to go meet his new buddy, his new training partner, Lionel. And he's joking around while he's cycling over to meet him to his house or to the track, wherever they were going to start their ride. And he's like, probably the earliest Lionel's ever trained in the morning. So apparently this Tucson training block's going really well. And Sam had said something about being worried about it, doing some summer training there, but with the baby coming soon and things like that. Looks like the two of them are having fun and look pretty locked in. And they've been living close to each other. So now they've become good neighbors and good buddies pushing each other.
Now, how has it taken it this long for Sam Long and Lionel Sanders to train together. I mean, they live down the street from each other. They're always going back and forth, battling it out on the race course. Like, what do you guys think? Was it a kind of mental deal where they didn't want the competition to see what they're doing in training? Or like, what do you think it was that it took this long for these two to pair up and have a little mini training camp going on?
It's got to be somewhat of the age gap, right? I don't know if Lionel and Sam would be buddy on any other day, but because they are 1-2 sometimes, they have to be. So that's probably the number one reason would be my guess, is that they wouldn't picture each other being best buddies. But when you have that same goal in mind, it's amazing how you can get along with people that you might not have thought you normally would have.
Yeah. Also, I think it's a case of these guys are alphas, both of them, and they usually train the house down every time. So I think it was like a smart decision from the both parts. Like, if we train together, we're gonna kill each other. So let's just mind our own business and stay apart from each other. But now that maybe Sam is becoming a dad and Lionel is a father, maybe there's a little bit more common ground between them, that they can actually not go max out every training session. So might be good for them now.
You know, it's definitely going to go one of two ways. They're either going to destroy each other, trying to one-up each other in training, or they're both going to come out stronger for it, challenging each other in good ways. So we will see which way it goes, but it should make for some fun social media content over the next little while. And I'll be curious to see how if they work together on the race course in their next races or what happens there, but it should be interesting.
Well, and Fede talked about it, I think, last week, where we want to get more of this sharing of information and within the sport, right? So it's really neat to see two top-end competitors training together and not worried about what each other are seeing and weaknesses or strengths and things like that. No, they're just trying to make each other better, because who else is going to make you better? Your competition. And to do it on a daily basis, maybe it is a new secret. I mean, Lionel's coming towards the end here, so I think he's looking for any edge he can get and grab onto the young guy and see what you can do.
Well, and they're both self-coached in there, so at least it's easy to work the training around it.
What are we doing today? Lionel, your turn.
Yeah. There we go. Love it. Well, speaking racing, let's jump into some race results here. Fede, what did this weekend's racing look like?
Well, we had Ironman Switzerland, and we talked about this race last week in Thun, the small town in Switzerland, which is, I mean, looking at the pictures and the videos, it looks like an unbelievable race to be part of. Just wherever you look, it's a picture perfect type of scenery. And we had the last pro race from Swiss triathlete Jan van Berkel, and he took the win, finishing in a Disney fairy tale story, taking the home race victory and kissing babies and giving high fives. So it was just really good to see, and it was emotional on his side. Daniela Reef was there to congratulate him, and he's an athlete who's been very open about his training and doping, and he's in the forefront of pushing the sport in the right direction and making sure that everyone's clean. So overall, a good guy, and it's good to see him finishing his career with a victory. We had in second place Germany's Leonard Arnold, and in third place another Swede, Andreas Salvisberg. So yeah, it was a very, very good race to see, and it was a very tough course. I mean, these guys were exiting the water like in 52 minutes, which is slow for a professional. So the conditions were super, super tough.
No, that's awesome. And I think, Fede, was it you that called that one?
I did. Yeah, called it.
Awesome job. Yeah, that area is absolutely stunning. A couple years ago, I went and did a training camp around Switzerland, and it is one of the most beautiful places in the world, and some awesome riding out there too. It really is stunning. That's what I'm going to have to go to.
We might need to do a training camp in Switzerland in the near future. Yeah.
Get some hills in, good views, good spot for it.
I had a good friend that was
Absolutely.
there for that race too, and just like Fede led with, I mean, she's been all over for races, and her post was a video of the swim start in the course, and it was literally said, "This is the prettiest venue race area I've ever been to in my life." So it seems like it definitely is worth a visit and put it on the calendar.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
And my guy
Okay.
DNF, so
Oh no. It's not an easy course. It's pretty, but it's not easy.
definitely seemed like there were a few DNFs on the bike, and even on the run too. So whether it was mechanical or not.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
well, she's gonna have to go back for the revenge.
There we go. Do we have anything else going on this weekend?
Not really. We had a couple of 70.3 races, but nothing major. We had 70.3 Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. We had 70.3 John Chopping in Sweden and Muskoka in Canada.
Yeah.
So, but those were like age group only and like just lower tier professional type of races. But the major one was, of course, Ironman Switzerland.
Yeah, absolutely. But we got some racing coming up this weekend. I think the biggest one that we'll be watching is going to be WTCS Hamburg, as people are chasing down Olympic points there. There's also Ironman Victoria, which is a female-only race where there is a small field there. I was kind of looking at it. It'd basically be a case with a lot of the athletes already have Kona qualifications of show up and get a spot, which is crazy to see in this day and age. But I guess we are getting close to the world champs. And then we got 70.3 Swansea. Bad at these
So,
pronunciations. Over in the UK, I think. And then, yeah, Ecuador. But
yeah.
we make some picks for WTCS Hamburg. I think that'll be the most interesting one when it comes to race results there. We got another showdown of Alex Yee and Hayden Wild, but we got a couple other big names in there, like Matt Hauser, who recently had his first win, Yale Gaines, got Antonio Serazzone, Vasco Velasa, Christian Blumenfeld's coming in there. There's a few names in this one, so it'll be fun to see a showdown going on here. Let's go with picks. I'm gonna, you know what, it's so hard. I'm like cheering for Hayden Wild, but I think Alexi is such a good competitor there. But I think Hayden Wild's going to take this short distance. It'd be fun to see. How about you, Fede? Who do you think has this one?
Well, I was gonna pick Hayden, but I'm gonna switch it now, and I'm gonna go with let's go with Mr. Christian Blumenfeld for the win.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that'd be fun to see.
putting it out there.
I love it. How about you, Josh?
And now Fede took mine, so I was naturally right. So I'll go with a recent winner too, with Matt Hauser.
Really? No one's thinking Alex Yee. That is pretty surprising in
I'm
here.
trying to get on the winning side here, so I like to go with the outsider a little bit. So we'll see.
There we go.
Makes it an interesting
Matt Hauser. Yeah, I think he's got some of the fastest relay times out there. So on the short course, that could definitely be one in there. He's definitely up and coming. Okay, let's head over to the women's side of it. So some of the top rankings, we got Taylor Spivey, Beth Potter, Cassandra Bogran, Summer Rappaport, Lisa Meissner, Laura Lindemann, Jenna-Caer. So we got a couple big names in here. I'm going to go, because it is a short course in here, I'm going to say Cassandra Bogrand. She's pretty good if it's a shorter distance than the Olympic, but short course usually has it pretty dialed in. How about you, Josh? What are you picking for this one?
I'll go with Rappaport for this one.
Yeah?
Nice.
Definitely getting those bike skills up, so good. How about you?
I'm gonna go with Beth Potter for the win. I think she's gonna have it on the run. I predict this race is gonna be everybody's gonna get off the bike together, and I think Beth is gonna run from everyone.
Run it down. Yeah, it's fun with the short course. There's definitely so much competition right at the top on these WTCS races. Like, it's anybody's game on any day. Like Luciano talked about, they're just racing so much. You have good days, you have bad days, but it's kind of fun when there's not complete domination in there. I mean, the Alex E. Hayden Wild thing has definitely been going on, but I think on this course, it could open up to a few different people. And Christian Blumenfeld, he just seems to work his way faster and faster and faster. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
It'll be
it's going to be
entertaining no
definitely
matter
interesting.
what.
Yeah.
There's lots of fun racing coming up on the short course and long course triathlon races, but how good is this Tour de France so far? I know we touched on a little bit with Michael Woods, but there was an absolutely heartbreaking moment this week that everyone is talking about too. We had Mark Cavendish. He's tied for the most stage wins at the Tour de France, but he was going for one more in his final Tour de France, and he was so close the other day with a second place on a sprint stage. But we got the heartbreaking news that unfortunately he's had to pull out of the race with just a silly crash in the peloton. Like it wasn't anything epic or crazy. It was just a touch of wheels in a big group. And how heartbreaking is it to see his tour end that way? What were you guys' thoughts when you saw that?
Oh, I was super gutted to see Cav going down. I really wanted for him to get the victory, especially on that stage. That was his stage, and the way he went down, it just breaks my heart. And you can see it in his face that he was super, super, disappointed, and the way that tour ended for him, and everyone in the peloton was just sending their get well soon messages and all that. And the word on the street is that Astana, his current team, is gonna ask him to stay for another year. Take whatever time you need. Go to your family, recover well, and please come back to us next year for one last tour, because we want you to beat that record. We want you on victory 35. And I think everyone now wants him to win. Yeah, it would be amazing, and especially during an Olympic year. Imagine Cavendish retiring in the not the Champs Elysees, because next year's tour is going to finish with a TT because of the Olympics. But imagine Cav winning his stage number 35 next year. That would be amazing, eh?
It would be. I don't think he's done. I mean, we thought he was done last year, and then there he is back this year. So it was hard to watch stage 8 or stage 7 when he got hurt.
Yeah.
8. But in the stage that he finished second in, might have been due to a mechanical. I mean, he went to gas it in 12th gear, dropped to 11th, and back to 12th, and so I think you could see it too in some of the replays where you could see him just kind of fight with it and not go as much as he wanted to, and still almost get it. Impressive. He still has it. He's just got to win a stage before he doesn't get to finish a stage is probably what it comes down to. And hey, first week of the tour, he went for it and almost got it. And then, just to have that crash in the middle of a pack, barely moving, refueling. And it was just that ripple effect where the braking started up front and trickled back. And I think there were only 2 bikes that went down, and he was the only one that got injured in the whole thing, which is not common for a major injury like that.
It was so brutal to see. Like I think we were all kind of hoping for that, like we said, fairy tale ending where on the Champs Elysees he takes that final sprint and closes out his Tour de France career. Like that would have been just epic. I'm curious to see what he does, because it's not the 3 weeks of racing the Tour de France that's hard. It's the 51 weeks until you have to get there again. That's hard to balance. Like get up to that level again, right? Like that's got to be hard, especially as he is getting up there in age for a cyclist, and that's got to be tough. I'll be curious to see what he does there.
Luciano just talked about it too, right? It's that all that training to get ready for the Olympics, all that training to get ready for 21 days, and really for Mark 3 days, 4 days. Now he's got to do all of the riding too, right? He still has to do the 70,000 plus feet of climbing that they've already done in 9 days. But really, he's going after those few moments. But he's married. He's got a big family, and there's a lot of other factors that go into it. So Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll find out in a few months, probably.
You know what else I'm so happy to see is that this race has not been a runaway. I know a lot of people are starting to talk about when Vindigo put in that big acceleration, put a ton of time on Pogačar. People are starting to think, okay, is this over there? But no, Pogačar fought back and he's been taking bonus seconds. He's been inching back up kind of every stage in there. And honestly, he had to take that downtime after his injury. So he's probably gaining fitness throughout this Tour de France.
Yeah.
Like he's just piling it on now that he had to take that time. So he seems to be getting better and better. So it'll be interesting. There's been some interesting tactics on both sides,
17
actually,
seconds,
where
right?
you're kind of questioning, but it's getting close. It'll be interesting to see what happens after this rest day
Which, I mean, rest days are either good for some riders or horrible for some others. We're gonna see on tomorrow's stage if the rest day was good for them. And yeah, like you said, Jenna, there's only 26 seconds between Pogačar and Vingegaard, and Jay Hindley, it's slowly creeping up, but I think this is a two-man race between Jonas and Tadej. But we're gonna see tomorrow what's gonna happen on stage number 10, which actually I was listening to a few podcasts and they were talking about how what you just mentioned, gaining fitness throughout the tour, is what differentiates champions from just someone who finishes the tour. The guys that are able to be better on week 3 than on week 1 are usually the ones who get the win. So yeah, it's going to be definitely interesting. And tomorrow we have a hilly route with 167 Ks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 category 3 climbs and 1 category 2 climb with an intermediate sprint at kilometer 60. So, and it's a downhill finish. So maybe I think this is a breakaway type of race. Maybe if the breakaway stays together, they can win the stage tomorrow, and it's going to be just damage management for the general classification for Pogačar and Vingegaard.
Yeah, and you know what? I think the race for third is going to start to get very interesting as we go on here, as we go through these next couple weeks. So that'll be exciting to watch as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, we've got a fun treat for everyone here. We are going to jump into an interview with Ironman Brazil winner Luciano Taccone. We're so excited to have our first professional athlete interview here on another triathlon podcast. Welcome, Luciano. We're so happy to have you on here. How are you doing today?
Hi, Jenna. Hi, Josh. Hi, Fede. I'm fine. I'm still recovering my last Ironman. I'm with a little injury in my hips, and so I'm still training very light to the moment, but I'm confident that in 1 or 2 weeks I will be preparing knees.
Excellent. Yeah, that was an effort to put in for that win there. And we'll dive a little bit more into your Ironman Brazil win, which was an absolutely phenomenal result. But let's start off with some of your short course career. So you had a great short course career and participated in the 2016 Olympics in Rio. How did you get into triathlon? Did you always do triathlon? Did you play any other sports beforehand?
Yeah, before I passed through a lot of sports like football, also, I don't know, basket, taekwondo, but but when I was 9, I first met the guy that was my coach for many years. He was a swimming coach, and when I was 9, I started with him. Then he started with a triathlon. I don't know how to say, like an Iron Kids school.
Okay.
So I started there with him, and in that moment, I was my first contact with triathlon.
Fantastic.
Then at the beginning was just like a game. Just he learned us to how to swim, how to do transitions, how to run, but it wasn't training. It was more like a game. And then when I was 15, more or less, I started racing more frequently in local races. I made some good results as a junior. So I started to be selected for, for South American Championships and Pan American Championships. And I don't know, when I was like 18, 19, I've done my first junior world championship. And in that moment, I realized that I wanted to be a professional triathlete. And nothing. I was studying at the moment. I started the university, but as I started traveling for racing, it became a little bit hard for me doing the two things at the level I pretend to be. So I decided just to focus on triathlon.
That's fantastic. No, it's so fun to see that journey. So it sounds like there was that one race where you decided, okay, I really want to jump into being a professional athlete all in. I think I can do something here.
Yes, the result there wasn't good. I was like 40 or something like that. But racing at that level was like fantastic. I was like in the third pack in the bike, but amazing. I don't know how to say it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that motivated me to trying to be the best athlete I could.
Absolutely. And how was that journey to getting to the Rio Olympics? That must have been a very cool experience to be a part of. How was the journey to get there?
It's hard. It's really hard because the Olympic qualification, you have 2 years of racing, and you have to do a lot of racing all over the world. It's very expensive. I had the luck that my country, especially in that moment, they support me a lot on that, because by myself it was like impossible to afford that. And yeah, it was amazing. I first tried the last year of the qualification to London, but I started too late, so I didn't made it. But then for Rio, I had a really good start, making I won my first World Cup. Then I did a really good result in a World Championship series in Chicago. So I had a great start that gave me, like, I don't know how to say it,
Confidence?
yeah, the confidence and a good base of points for them being more relaxed. But
start to get into those races and kind of come on to some of the bigger races with enough points.
Yeah, still like that till the last race. I wasn't confirmed for the Olympics.
Really?
Yeah, it's really hard, but yes, I don't know how to say it. That 2 years of racing was like the most amazing experience for me in triathlon.
That's incredible. And how did it feel to be on that Olympic start line? That had to be something pretty special.
Yes, sure. It was really special, but at the same time, as that qualification was so hard till the end, I had like I finished really I don't know how to say it, tired that Olympic qualification. Then I remember my the last month I did like 3 races. One the last 2 races was one in Huatulco in Mexico, and then because it wasn't confirmed my slot, I had to go to Yokohama the weekend after that. And yeah, I finished that 2 races, and I arrived home, and I started with, I don't know how I say, the bronchitis.
Like with a respiration problem. Yeah. Bronchitis. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 3 weeks with antibiotics.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was my body really needed a rest, and I think I couldn't prepare the Olympics as I want,
Mhm.
and perhaps the race of the Olympic wasn't a good experience because I wasn't in a good shape for that event. So by one hand, it was like incredible the days before the race, but the race was a little bit hard for me.
That's frustrating. Yeah, you see that with a few federations where it seems like the Olympic selection is left very late. And that seems like it does a disservice to athletes because you want to show up rested and prepared, have a solid training block where you're feeling healthy and ready to go. If you're racing until the last minute, that's so hard on the body to actually recover and be prepared to have a result at the Olympics. It's crazy.
Yes, for sure. It's really tough because of that, because you travel all around the world, you race a
Mhm.
lot for many months, and you finish that, and then you have less than 2 months for preparing the race of your life.
That is crazy.
Sometimes things doesn't go like I don't know one
Good to plan.
way I expect. So it's like that. It's part of this.
This fun sport. Yeah, they definitely have you guys going all over the place for those short course racing. But what had you make the decision to change from short course and start trying the 70.3s and Ironmans? Where did that shift happen?
Uh, I after Rio, I decided to do one more Olympic cycle to Tokyo. Things were going really well till Pan American Games in Lima in 2019, where I was third. It was a great result for me. At that moment, I had the new flag slot for my country. And after that race, I had a crash in the bike. I broke my collarbone.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then after that, all started to be a little bit hard. I didn't recover the way I had to do for the last races that year. And the new flag is a little bit different than the Olympic qualification ranking because you have to like defend points of the previous year. So then started the pandemic. The races that I wanted to do were canceled. I at the end I didn't make it to the Olympics, and that year where we didn't race, I started like I don't know how to say it, like watching more long distance races. I really started to want to do that in that moment, but it was like I had to finish that process to
Yeah.
Tokyo, and but in that moment I realized I wanted to start racing long distance because I started not being uh, as competitive as I wanted in short distance because of the age, the level of the races increased a lot at that moment. So I realized that I wanted to start something new, something
Mhm.
different challenges. And after Tokyo, I started racing long distance. My first race was Cozumel in 2021.
I was there.
Oh.
I saw you on that race, just running through the field. I think you finished fourth or something. It was with when some long race, no? 2020?
No, that one was the year before.
Ah, okay.
I still was training for short distance. Yeah, I for that race, Fede, I was with a borrowed bike, so my position was terrible, and I wasn't prepared for that race. The nutrition, I made a lot of mistakes, but I learned a lot of that race, and the year next year, 2021, I finally won Cozumel.
Yeah, which I mean, it goes to show how incredible of an athlete you are. You know, borrowed bike. I bet you did ITU nutrition with like 2 gels on the bike, and then just survived the run. But
Yeah,
yeah,
something like that.
that's awesome. And also, I wanted to share with the audience, you and your girlfriend, you are a power couple. Romina, she went to the Tokyo Olympic, so that's very good on you. Like two very solid athletes.
Yes, we are not together now.
No.
Not to clarify that, but we still have a really good relationship. I'm coaching her,
Oh,
Oh,
so yeah, we have a great relationship. And yes, that year for Tokyo, I didn't go as an athlete as I expected, but I went as a coach for supporting her there. So it was a different experience, but it was nice too. Yeah.
slightly easier race day. Maybe not for the nerves and heart, but at least you didn't have to run or be out there in the heat.
Yeah, I was watching the men's race, and that was a little bit hard. Then for Romina's race, I enjoyed it a lot, but watching that race, the men's race, was hard at the
Ooh.
Yeah,
beginning.
wishing you're there. Well, you definitely jumped into the long course and did well there. You had your first Kona experience, and then we came into Ironman Brazil, which you had an absolutely phenomenal result this year, taking the win, which is so cool to see. And would that have been your fourth Ironman, or what number was that?
My third.
Your third Ironman, yeah, coming in and taking the win is pretty impressive there. So tell us about Ironman Brazil. How did that day go for you?
It was I can say it was like a perfect race,
Yeah.
because even I had some problems during the race, like I lost a lot of my nutrition in the bike, and I was with this injury in my hip. Then I was like feeling really good. The preparation for the race, I think, uh, was perfect for the Ironman. Before Ironman Brazil, I had two really bad races in Oceanside and St. George, but I was confident because my preparation was specific for Brazil. The main goal of the first half of the year was Brazil, and as I told you, the race was perfect. I had one of my best swims. I was in the first pack. I was third out of the water. That I'm not the best swimmer, and being in that position at the beginning of the race was great. Then, even if I lost half part of my nutrition, I had a really good bike, and then in the run, I was a little bit ambitious at the beginning of the marathon, because I started faster than my plan, but I at the end, it was a great marathon. My best at the moment. Perhaps the last 10Ks, I suffer a little bit because I started to feel without energy, because that fast I went at the beginning, but at the end I had a good difference with Reinaldo, the second guy. So it was a really great day for me.
I don't think it counts as an Ironman if you're not suffering in the last 10K and slowing down a little bit there.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. How did that
The
finish line feel? Like, when did you know that you were going to take the win? Was there a point where you were confident you had it?
uh, I try to think that till the end was possible to lose the race,
Mhm.
because of that, because I started feeling without energy the last case, and I try not to think the race was finished till I saw the blue carpet.
See the tape across the line, about to break it. I guess that's a good point to know.
Yeah, in Ironman, I think it's different. Perhaps in a half, you can realize that you are in control of the race with 3 or 2Ks to go, or even more. But in Ironman, even if you have like 5 minutes of advantage, you can't relax till the end.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that in a few cases. Some of the iconic videos of people winning the Ironman in 1 second, and the next second they're crawling, trying to just make it the last 20 meters to the finish line. So definitely
Yes,
the way to
because,
play it.
for example, if you have a 3 minutes advantage and you are running at 4 minutes per K, and then you start running at 5 because you start feeling without energy, in
Mhm.
in 3K you can lose that advantage, so you can't relax.
Yeah, absolutely. So Josh and Fede, do you guys have some questions here for Luciano, possibly from our audience as well?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say congratulations, Lucho. I mean, you had an amazing short course career, and you're making your ways into long course. So, man, I tip of my hat to you, chapeau. So, and I just wanted
Thank you.
to ask you, what sort of training does it require a person to go 7:55? I mean, were you putting massive amounts of hours? I mean, I'm not gonna ask you your power numbers or anything. That's a bit more personal, but I just wanted to share with the audience what type of commitment does it take an athlete to go this fast? And of course, it's years in the making. I mean, this is not a result like it happened night and day. You've been working towards this for your whole life, basically.
Yes, sure, Fede. For many years, I've been training a lot for short distance. Obviously, it's a different type of training, but for many years, I made like between, I don't know, 28 and 30 hours a week for many years. And at the end, now training for Ironman, I'm not training more than that. Obviously, it's different, the specific preparation for the distance, but I've been training. I've been putting these hours for many years. So yes, sure. It's like it's not a 2 years work. It's more like that. More than that.
There's no secret training session. It's just consistency throughout the years.
Yes, sure. Consistency is the key for me, for everyone. Not just for me, for everyone. It's more important to be consistent in the years. Perhaps not making like super big blocks for short periods, but training like between 25 and 28 hours for many years. That's makes a difference, a huge difference.
Absolutely. What do you think when you see athletes, training 35, 40 hours a week? Do you think that's sustainable, or do you think those athletes are gonna pay the price later in their careers?
It depends. I can't do that. My body doesn't permit me that. It's a lot for me, but I know that for other people works that. We are all different, and I don't know. At the end, I think that if you don't have a good control of that hours, yes, it's going to you are going to pay it in one moment. But if you know what you are doing and you have a good control of that amount of hours, perhaps not. It depends.
Yeah. So before I pass it over to Josh, I just wanted to touch on your new bike position and your new bike, because it's a long way from having a borrowed bike on Cozumel 2020 and then the the speed machine that you have now. Can you talk us a bit about your setup and how fast your current setup is compared to the last one?
It's a huge difference. The Hanso is really fast, but I'm still looking for a good position. I think my hip injury now is because I still don't have a good position for me. The difference between the two bikes, it's like a lot. The Hanso is really, really fast, but I'm still looking for that position that permit me to I don't know how to say, to put the power, to be aero, and don't having injuries. I've been training and racing a lot for many years in the road bike, and I still don't feel that comfortable as I felt in the road bike. So I'm still looking for that.
Awesome.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Luciano, this is Josh, and I really appreciate you coming on. From my perspective, it's an honor to be able to talk to you, chat with you, and especially from where you've come and how quickly you've gotten to the top and the long distance as well. I don't know if you knew, but I almost caught you in Oceanside, but those sea lions got in my way on the swim. So in the marina, that was my first 70.3. So it was cool to be in the same race as you. It was an awesome day just to be out there with such an awesome field that you guys had in the pro star field, and
it was a cold day.
Long day through the marine base and everything like that, but just a really spectacular venue. And you talk about the run where, like in the 70.3, you might know if you've got the lead, and that's one of those courses that kind of lends to see the competition as you're doing a couple loops. Whereas some of the long distance courses you might not know, or you might end up running out of that energy for sure. But one of the questions that we got from actually another Mauna team member who was on my team in Oceanside on Athletic Brewing, Vanessa Wagner asked, what's one piece of advice you were given along the way that still kind of resonates with you, that you still go back to every once in a while?
I think what we were talking previously about consistency is the most important advice I received of one of my coaches. He always told me not to try to do the best training of my life every time I go for a workout, but just trying to be consistent in the time, trying to not to have always the best day of my life, just doing what I have to do, even that days that you are feeling bad and things are not going well. Just focus, to focus and finish those works where you are struggling or you are feeling bad, because at the end, also racing, you have those bad days and you have to learn how to go through that.
Absolutely. So I think we'll wrap up with a few. We've got a couple quick hit questions here. So these are short, quick questions that are a little different from the normal triathlon ones. But we'll start with, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten during a race or training? Maybe some random cafe stop on the side of the road.
I don't know. Let me think. But I remember racing here in Argentina. We have a big race in Entre Rios in La Paz that is like the most important race in one of the most important in South America.
Mm-hmm.
And there is like a big crowd all over the course, and I saw some friends like accepting bottles of water or Coke during the race, because it's like really, really hot that race. And at the end, I when I saw that, I thought that you don't know what that.
Yeah, you never know what could be in there.
Yeah,
A little some.
it's like a big party here that race, and there's a lot of drunk people during the course. And
They get vodka instead of water. You never know.
I don't know if vodka, but here in Argentina we used to drink Fernet with Coke, and I don't know, it was like seeing that.
Mhm.
I thought it wasn't safe.
Fair enough. Yeah, you never know. Here's another one. So, if you had to race a triathlon and pair with a female pro, who would you choose to be your partner in there for the fastest overall time or for the best race result? Let's say over an Ironman distance.
Yes, sure. Yeah, I think now it's like an obvious answer because of what has done Reef in
Mhm.
road. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty hard to argue that now.
yeah.
If you had to give up one of the three sports of triathlon, swimming, biking, or running for life, which one would it be and why?
Uh, I don't know. I like running and bike the same. Perhaps running. I enjoy more running.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perhaps I'm stronger in the bike, but I enjoy a lot running.
Mm-hmm. So if you had to get rid of one of the three, would it be the swim?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think most of us would say that actually. So here's on the other side. If triathlon added a fourth discipline, what would be the most bizarre activity you'd choose to add at the end that would give you the edge to win? So if you add a fourth activity to it.
You are killing me with that.
Maybe like a taekwondo at the end or something.
No, I wasn't that good in
No,
taekwondo. That's why I started doing triathlon.
Maybe like
I
a
don't know.
soccer shootout, soccer penalty
go.
shootout. Most
Yeah.
triathletes can't kick a ball.
Yeah, I was good playing soccer, football,
Mhm.
but I haven't played for many years, so I don't know if now that's a good option.
I mean, but
Get it.
Lucho, for
Yeah.
Argentinian standards, I mean, if you're bad playing football and you're an Argentinian, that means you're 99% better than the rest of the world. So
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Likely you beat out like a Lionel or Sam Long or something. Shit out.
absolutely.
Okay, last question here. What is your pump up song? What's a song that you love to listen to before a race or in hard training?
uh, Before racing, I don't listen to music.
Okay.
I get a little bit distracted, but yeah, I don't know how to say it in English. I like a lot national rock from here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Awesome.
yeah,
That gets you in the mood for the training and everything.
sometimes yes. If not, I don't know. I listen like everything during a
Fair enough.
workout. Yeah, I don't have a specific type of music I listen to.
Sure. Well, we have actually an exciting announcement for the audience here, too. We're going to be doing a giveaway with Luciano. You are sponsored by Mauna Endurance and got to wear one of the newest tri-suits out at Ironman Brazil. And obviously, it sounds like it felt pretty good, went pretty fast out there, would you say?
Yes, it's an amazing trisuit.
Excellent. So
It's fast. It's really comfortable.
that is important. So
Yes.
we are going to be giving away his winning tri-suit here through our social media at Another Triathlon Podcast on Instagram. So we will put up a post with all the details of how you can win that tri-suit and check it out because it would be a very cool memento to have from one, just an spectacular athlete who's headed to the World Championships after his first Ironman win. But, if it happens to fit too, it'd be a good suit to race in as well.
Yes, I'm going to give the one I wore in Brazil, but just after Nice, because I want to have a backup trisuit. But after Nice, for sure, the person who won it, he's going to have.
You'll have to go win Nice so that they can have an Ironman Brazil and Ironman Nice winning tri-suit out there. Deal?
Yes, sure.
Well, thank you so much for coming on with us. We sure appreciate you taking the time to chat with us, and we are wishing you all the best at Ironman Nice. You'll be ready to go, and we can't wait to follow along.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you for the invitation. It was a pleasure to talk with all of you.
It's been so much fun, as always, guys, chatting triathlon and, of course, cycling, because we're all getting sucked into the Tour de France, and chatting with our Mauna pro, Luciano, here. So, as you heard in the interview, we're doing a giveaway of his Ironman Brazil race suit. So be sure to head over to our social media at Another Triathlon Podcast. And of course, we're cheering for him to win Nice, because then you'll get the race kit of a winner of Nice and Brazil. So be a double header there.
But double whammy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put some links in the show notes so that you can go give him a follow, check out our post there, and then you can also give the three of us a follow through those links too. So we will see you next week. Thank you so much, guys, as always. Have a great night here.
Thank you. See you guys.